everybody. Sam, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the mobile buying experience and where that is going and how it's evolving. The stat that really sticks out in my head that I keep hearing and that we actually see day to day in market is that more than 50% of e-commerce sessions are starting on a mobile device. I think if you look at the services sector of mobile commerce, I would venture a guess that that index is much higher. So folks like you guys, Uber, Postmates, Instacart are just absolutely crushing the experience on a mobile device, just really creating magic. In a lot of cases, extracting a premium from the consumer. In your case, obviously, giving discounts. But that's the experience that is really transforming commerce. And so who better to talk about where we think the experience is going on a mobile device than you. So we'll talk about that, and we'll get your ideas on just how mobile in general is evolving. And so before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about the HotelTonight story. I want to hear about growth. I think I read this stat that in the last 12 months, you grew from 100 destinations in 12 countries to 400 destinations in 27 countries, and it's probably higher now. So incredible growth in just the last 12 months, and obviously a great story before that as well. But want to hear about growth, want to hear about how you guys conceptualize the experience and what it's been like the last couple of years.
Yeah, thank you. It's been an amazing sort of 3.5 years. It's hard to believe you look back and it's been 3.5 years. A lot of our growth has been adding new cities and adding new hotels, which is, it sounds easy, it sounds straightforward. It's about getting geographic ubiquity so that wherever you turn on HotelTonight, you're going to find a hotel that's right for you. So that's more hotels in our current cities. It's adding a lot of new cities. And it's hard when you go from adding one hotel a day, 2 hotels a day, to adding 100 hotels a day. Yeah. You have to put in different systems, different processes, and maintaining the quality that we have, the quality control, not only of the hotels that we bring in, but then also of the content that we bring in, and making sure that the photos are great, making sure that the content has this nice HotelTonight voice to it, and making sure it still is that handcrafted feel, even though we're doing it at scale. That's been very, very challenging, and we can talk about competition if you want. One set of competition is clones, and one of the ways that we look at that is it's fairly easy to launch HotelTonight. We launched it in just 10 weeks from a whiteboard and a PowerPoint deck all the way to an app in the App Store, and we didn't have anybody to copy. We see a lot of clone activity, and what happens is that they're able to get to that point fairly easily. It's very hard, though, to get adoption. It's very hard to get scale. It's very hard to get the level of hotels you need to really get the flywheel spinning, to get the deals and get the utilization that you need.
And also nailing the experience end to end, right? I mean, I think I was sharing with you the experience that I had where I booked a hotel room for my parents in Union Square, and the guy at the front desk was quite a jerk. And I did it through HotelTonight. I called HotelTonight customer service, and a phone call away 2 minutes later, and I was right through.
Did we fire that guy for you?
I hope I should say that. But I read recently that Barry Sternlicht, who founded Starwood, actually invested in HotelTonight and actually is an advisor as well. What does that mean for you guys? It seems like it's some pretty good validation of maybe the bigger guys recognizing what you have been doing in the space.
Yeah, there's very few people that you could say, or I think that you couldn't say there's anybody that's more of a visionary, more credible within the hotel industry than Barry Sternlicht. Not only is he just incredibly well connected and can pick up the phone and talk to any of the chains and any big hotel group CEOs and leaderships, but he also can tell where customer opinion is going next. And to meet with him and have him say that HotelTonight, this is the future, I want to be part of this, is incredibly validating. But then also to hear him talk about how he wants to help us work with chains to deepen the relationship, to deepen the partnership and become true partners with the hotels and the suppliers that we work with, and the ideas that he's bringing to the team. It's really incredible. He's a guy that created the W brand. He's building the next set of sort of eco-friendly hotels right now, and just the stories that he tells are really incredible on a personal level, but then on the business level, in 10 minutes I can get enough stuff to do that's going to keep me busy for weeks afterwards.
You seem to really get the experience of how you feel when you walk into a hotel, right? And so you guys are working on everything up till that and even some other stuff inside of the hotel that we'll talk about shortly, so it seems like a good match there. So where's the space going in the next 3 to 5 years? Where's travel going? How is this sort of the last minute mobile first model transforming what's happening in travel, and specifically your space?
When we started, we were thinking about I became obsessed with my mobile device. And I was doing another business called Dealbase, which is a hotel deal search engine. And I was thinking about how is mobile going to play into this? What would this business, this deal-based business, look like on mobile? And I realized that it was going to be about last minute, because that's something that mobile could bring uniquely to the world. The same with the ride-sharing companies, or the same with the delivery companies. That's a uniquely mobile experience. That you've left your computer and you're now needing a place to stay. A mobile device can help you out. We wanted to build the ultimate way to do that. Yeah. And that was about convenience. That was about providing you with great hotel properties, about providing you with a deal potentially. We sell lots of rooms, and with many hotel partners at the regular rate that they're selling on other channels. We're just bringing them incremental business. Yep. And so where we're seeing it's going, that was a very specific use case for mobile. What we're seeing is more and more people are not using computers anymore in the way they used to use computers. And they're preferring to transact on mobile devices, preferring to use these devices as remote controls. I think that opens up a lot of opportunity for us to be more useful for consumers, as well as more useful to hotel partners to fill their rooms up.
So let's talk about that for a second. Google I/O, you guys announced the Express check-in, as well as actually keyless entry into hotel rooms using NFC. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that was a really fun set of announcements, and we were honored that Google wanted to work with us to help talk about the future of what travel is going to look like, what the hotel stay experience was going to look like. It's always important for us to be innovating, to be thinking about what's next, not what's just now. And we think that the mobile device is one of the most interesting things about it is that it stays with you all the time. So it's not just about a transaction, it's about that it's with you the entire stay. Yep. And what does that mean? And we're doing a lot of thinking about that and a lot of work on that. But one of the first pieces is, can we help with the check-in process? Yep. Especially for an independent hotel that doesn't have the resources of a major chain to be able to provide this type of technology. So I think it's one of the frustrations I have about the hotel stay experience is that with HotelTonight, we can do bookings in 10 seconds and 3 taps and a swipe, but the check-in process often it's a fairly analog process. It's offline. It involves maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if there's a line. Yep. And is there a way that we can help our hotel partners focus on what they do best, which is provide great service, instead of them spending all this time doing sort of administrative work at the guest expense? Yep. Can we do that ahead of time for them? Offload it so they can spend that time, and maybe it's a fraction of the time, but they're spending it helping people tell them about the property, about why they should come back, about why they should, what they should do in the area, about helping make their stay memorable. Yeah. And it's a win-win for everyone. On the keyless entry, I think that if you look out far enough, call it 10 years, call it 5 years, there's no reason for us to have a chain of keys, like this hunk of metal in our pocket, which is basically for personal authentication, for entering a secure environment, right? There's no reason that can't be through a phone or through another device, and a phone is
literally duplicated at your hardware store. I mean,
exactly, and it's incredibly unsecure, right? You can drop it, you can lose it. Yeah. It's heavy, it's sharp. It just is. It's a antiquated way of doing authentication. Yep. So I think in hotels, I think it's going to happen in homes. It's going to happen. It's already happening a little bit in offices with key cards, but I think that it's going to happen way more at homes, and then it's going to happen first in hotels because there's an incredible efficiency for them to do this, as well as security benefit for it. And so it's going to require a change in hardware. We wanted to make sure that we understood this, that we were investing in resources and understanding and working with the best technology partners there. And so that when this happened, we would be really well positioned to be able to help our hotel partners out. Yeah,
makes sense. Let's shift gears a little bit to just talking about commerce in general. So at Braintree, having worked with many commerce companies, we talk about this idea of smart commerce or contextual commerce is coming. So the idea that the same way that Google now tries to essentially predict what kind of content you're going to need throughout the day, is that same thing happening with commerce, right? So is there a way to string together all of the buying that you do throughout the day or throughout the week in a way that just makes everything more streamlined. It's almost predictive of what you're going to need. And so, that may require the device and consumers sharing more about themselves to make it happen. But curious to get your take on that. Is that real, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, I know. We're big believers in context providing a better shopping experience and a better hotel booking experience. I think ultimately you're going to book not three hotels, not three hotels. You're going to book not 5 hotels. You're going to book a single hotel. And for let's wait until I'm back. Help you find the right hotel to bring that up front. We're going to save you time. We're going to save you a lot of anxiety.
The old-fashioned way.
Saved by Donahue, right? So we're going to save you a lot of time, a lot of anxiety, and we're going to be able to just bring you a more seamless experience. Yeah. So how do we do that? How do we predict which hotel you want? Hotels are incredibly difficult. It's not just about the closest car to you. It's not just about do you want to go with a high-end car or a low-end car. It's about how do we help you find the right hotel amongst variables where every possible hotel is slightly different, and the prices for those hotels change on a real-time basis throughout the day. Being able to predict the right hotel for somebody is very hard. We think, though, that if we can get the right signals, some of those are observed, some of those are from people telling us what signals are important to them, that we can return someone this time savings experience of this magical experience of like, these are the right hotels for you. And if we can do that in the right way, I think that the trade is there. It's the same way that you trade a fair amount of your privacy by being able to use a credit card. You don't have to carry a bunch of cash around, but you do trade a lot of your privacy. And I think if you went back to the 50s and asked people, would you like a company to know every transaction you made, and would you feel comfortable if they sold that to other companies that you didn't even know about? You'd say, no way. But people do it every day, all day long. And it's
5 years ago, if you would let a limo company charge your credit card without them asking you and just leaving, you would have probably said,
right, or use your phone to book a hotel room.
Yeah.
People would have not felt comfortable with that. But it's the convenience of it, it's the value of it that has to be equivalent to any type of inconvenience on the other side about giving information. It's give, receive.
I'm going to use this term demand arbitrage, and I don't even know if this is the right term, but the concept is there a way for companies like HotelTonight and perhaps ride-sharing companies to figure out where there is demand in common and do things together to take advantage of that? So the simple way to do that might be a co-marketing deal between HotelTonight and Uber, and I think you did something for the Uber wedding promotion. Is there something more sophisticated to do that involves maybe data and other things, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely an opportunity in the market for apps to talk to each other better, or at the back end and services to talk to each other better to provide a more seamless experience, and that can help in marketing, that can just help in customer happiness, that can help in loyalty, that can help in awareness for services like ours or other services that would like to reach our audience that are complementary. But I think that it's going to take some time, and the integrations there are non-trivial to do them right and to do them so that ultimately they've got to add value to the customer. That's the first piece, and that's hard. It's not that hard to switch from HotelTonight to Lyft or to Flywheel or to Uber to order a cab. Like the integration to put Uber's functionality into our app doesn't add a ton of value for our users because they can already switch over. But for a deeper integration where we're helping you find a service you didn't even know existed, or we're helping you, giving you a special offer or a special deal, that's where it gets more interesting, I think. Or if we can bundle some of these services together, I think there might be something there. But I see it a fair ways off because of the complexities around the business arrangements as well as the technical integrations are not trivial.
What do you think about the interconnectivity of ads, commerce, and social? I think the holy grail that all these big behemoth companies are trying to achieve is this interconnectivity about being able to view an ad and seamlessly making that ad become a transaction, and also using the social layer to influence that sort of stuff. People keep talking about it. Is it really happening, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've predicted for a number of years now that at some point there's going to be an ad platform that allows us to bid on, not on keyword or purchase intent, but on latent intent. You could call it bidding on context. So if somebody that lives down in Palo Alto is in San Francisco, and it's 10 p.m. and there's a hotel that they've stayed in before that they really like that is got a great deal, we could offer them a better deal on that hotel. We would like to know that context, and that would be worth something to us to send a message to that customer. That, I think, is that type of opt-in marketing or contextually aware marketing is very interesting. It could exist today. Whether or not customers are ready for it, I think that's one of the big questions, and then whether or not the data can be assembled and packaged and sold to advertisers in the right way. We would, of course, never do it if customers weren't ready for it. I think that customers will be ready for it, and I think that the bidding on context and that user is worth more to us because we convert at a higher rate, or we have better offers, we have better hotels, we have better user experience, whatever it is. I think that's going to happen, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. Although it would be interesting if you guys have anything, let me know.
Great, so we're pretty compressed for time, so I wanted to leave just a couple minutes for some Q&A. Sure.
Just shout it out.
Can you hear me? What kind of analysis are you doing to determine those, A? And is it something internal? And then understanding the difference between, correlation and causation.
It's a great question. We have a pretty big investment in our data science platform and data intelligence, and an entire team dedicated to that. And there's statisticians and mathematicians that are looking at those questions to find out the correlation. Now, this has existed before. The idea of the distance between the hotel and the customer at the time of booking or at the time of consideration is a brand new concept for hotel booking that never was considered before. The idea of showing people a curated selection of results that's personalized for them and personalized for the market conditions, that's a new concept as well. So we're inventing as we go and discovering as we go. We do a lot of A/B testing. A lot of times it's A, B, C, D, E testing, and to validate the results and to improve our algorithms and deliver better results to people. The decision vectors for choosing NFC for keyless entry. It seemed to be one is this was developed on an Android platform, and so there was pretty good ubiquity of the technology there. And then the technology vendor that we felt was far enough along and that Google also was comfortable with, they advocated that approach. I think that what you'll see is a multiple, who knows, it could be high frequency audio, there could be multiple ways of doing proximity specific, platform specific ways of getting into a room. We're not betting on a specific technology now. We're betting on the fact that the keys are going to be sort of provisioned electronically and controlled, and the security is going to be done at the device level, not in a plastic card.
So one of the nice things about a traditional key is unless I'm going through airport security, no one can actually copy it or hack into the key that's in my pocket. How do you provide that same level of confidence in security when consumers don't understand the technology for keyless entry?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and that's one of the issues that needs to be really well communicated before this is rolled out in mass. I think that what you'll probably see is this rolled out in certain high security areas where people will get comfortable with it, and then maybe the hobbyists will get to it from their home, and people will get comfortable with it there. But the bottom line, there's a lot of secure information that's on your device that only you have the ability to access. My credit cards are stored with Braintree. I completely trust that. Would have I trusted that 10 years ago? I don't know. I would have had to look into it a lot more. Now I trust it without even a second thought. I think the same thing will happen, and I think it's up to the platform providers to really make sure that people are comfortable with the level of security that's in there, and but we're very comfortable with it, and based on our own investigations.
All right, we're over time. Thank you, Sam. Really eager to see where you guys go from here. Big fan. Thanks.